They call me Squirrel.
What's going on, Squirrel Squad? It is your boy, the Squirrel. I recently was chatting with my buddy Johan, and he had sent me this story about, I think it was a lady who had lost custody and to her ex. And then not long after the court battle, he was dead, and so was his father. They had gotten shot, and I told him, yeah, wow, I'm amazed that they got shot because I didn't think you could get a gun over in the UK. I thought that they were completely banned. And then he said there are some rules, and you are able to obtain a weapon. Certain people can, or however, I'm not really sure. But he sent me this video to watch so that I could check it out and figure it out. So I'm excited kind of to see what UK gun laws are. This is UK gun laws explained. And let's get into this video. I want to check it out because I thought that they were just completely banned in the country. That's the impression we get over here, that you guys just said, that's it. Leave your guns on the boat. Don't come over with them because we don't want them. Well, here we go. We're going to find out what the UK gun laws are. Let's sit back and enjoy this together. Here we go.
Welcome to Adam Explains, where
Hi,
I
Adam.
break down tough topics and give you the facts. Before we begin, if I could take this time to request that you like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy this video. But without further ado, let's get into it. Guns are heavily restricted in the UK, but contrary to what many people believe, including many Brits, owning a firearm is not illegal. On average, Britain has 6.5 guns per 100 people, compared to the USA, which has 101 guns per 100 people, according to the Small Arms Survey. Unlike the Americans with the Second Amendment, gun ownership in the UK is a privilege, not a right. Whether or not this is the right approach is not up for debate in this video, but feel free to discuss it at length in the comments section. Firearms control in the
You people can all fight in the comment section. Go ahead. That's what he's telling you.
UK is among the toughest in the world, and firearms offences continue to make up less than 0.2% of recorded crime. As you would expect, with such low gun ownership, gun-related deaths are incredibly rare. According to the Geneva Declaration of Armed Violence and Development, it stands at 1 death per million people per year. The UK population is around about 56 million people, and that only adds up to around 50 to 60 gun homicides annually. The rules around gun ownership can vary depending on where you are in the UK, particularly in Northern Ireland, where due to the Good Friday Agreement the laws are much less restrictive and over 5% of the population own a firearm, though these gun owners are not permitted to transport their weapons to mainland Britain. So who in general can obtain a firearm? To possess or purchase a firearm, an individual in...
Who can get a firearm? My grandfather and, hold on. They got her hiding over here in the corner. The cashier. The cashier can have a firearm as well. All right, we'll go back to hide the cashier. She was awful young to have a firearm. Although, what do I know?
In the UK must be assessed as not posing a threat to public safety by the police, who act as the licensing authority. In addition, the individual must have a good reason to own a firearm and be able to demonstrate to the licensing authority that they require their firearm for work, sport or leisure on a regular legitimate basis, such as being a member of a target shooting club. The reason the police are the licensing authority is because they possess local information that helps inform their judgment, and discretion over what constitutes a good reason is often left up to chief officers. To own a firearm in the UK, a person must undergo a strict vetting procedure which includes interviews, visits to the person's property, criminal record checks and references from friends. In addition, the applicant's GP may be contacted. Once a firearm licence is issued and paid for, the licensed individual must store their gun securely to avoid access by any unlicensed person. What firearms may be licensed in the UK? Unless declared specially dangerous by the Firearms Dangerous Air Weapons.
Just so you know, we have the same rules over here about storing the weapon and all that. You have to go through. You got to go through a course. There is a background check, and you do have to store all your weapons completely locked up, and you can't store the weapon loaded. You have to store the weapons, and then you have to store ammunition, and they have to be stored separately. It's also illegal if you're a felon over here to own even ammunition. You can't own that either because it's still considered part of a firearm. It's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that until I went to my gun course. But yeah, these are some of the same rules. It's just. I don't know. I'm not debating it. I'm just gonna watch this.
Rules of 1969, low-powered air weapons are generally not licensed in England and Wales. That means that if you purchase one of these, you do not require a license in order to possess it. It is often said that handguns are outright banned, which is not strictly true. An individual may own long-barreled revolvers and long-barreled pistols, which are defined with a barrel of at least 30 centimeters in length and that the firearm is at least 60 centimeters long. Long-barreled single-shot firearms
Basically, you can't stick it in your waist belt without somebody knowing, right? It makes sense.
of any caliber and semi-automatic pistols of 22 rimfire caliber are permitted with a firearm certificate. Those that do not meet these criteria would be considered a pistol in UK law and are effectively banned, with the exception of muzzle-loading pistols, including muzzle-loading revolvers, which are permitted as long as they meet the criteria set forth in the regulations. All of the pistols are prohibited in Great Britain. Shotguns are legal on a shotgun certificate as long as they can't hold more than 3 shotgun shells, including the one in the chamber, if it's a pump action or semi-automatic shotgun. However, shotguns with a detachable magazine or larger fixed magazine are still permitted, but you'll have to obtain a Section 1 firearm certificate. Rifles are also permitted. These are defined by UK law as a rifled firearm with a barrel longer than 30 centimeters or 12 inches, and a total length of the rifle must be longer than 60 centimeters or 24 inches.
So the rifles have to be the same length as the fucking handguns. Or the pistols, whatever. That's, like I said, again, you can't shove it down the front of your pants without being noticed.
And it must also not fall under the classification of a long barrel revolver or pistol. Rifles are permitted in any caliber size as long as it doesn't meet the definition of self-loading or pump action. Semi-automatic or pump action rifles are only permitted at a 22 rimfire caliber. What might surprise you is that under UK law, it is legal for you to own the following weaponry, with the correct licensing of course. The M&P 1522, which is based on the AR-15, H&K 416, semi-automatic 22 rimfire caliber MP5, Ruger 1022, Beretta ARX 160, and you can even own an Uzi as long as it's a 22 rimfire caliber. So next time someone says,
Tell you something, at the speed an Uzi shoots, you're fucking full of BBs and you're gonna wreck somebody with it. I'm surprised all those weapons are actually available in the UK. That's kind of crazy to me. It's funny they had the equivalent of the AR-15, the one that everyone jumps all over and calls an assault rifle. It's not what it stands for, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. It's still a very dangerous weapon. I'm just saying that the AR that's not what it stands for, but it's still a dangerous weapon. But they're legal over here, you know. They've changed the bump stock. You can't hit the bump stock on them anymore. There's a lot of things changing with them. I think nowadays, um, I think they're harder to get a hold of. I think you got to kind of be grandfathered in. I think I don't know. I had no desire to own one, and have decided that I wanted to go get one, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, crazy. It's crazy that you guys have that over there, and it's with the right permits legal.
that the UK banned guns, we didn't, but we do strongly restrict and control who can own firearms and what firearms can be owned. And generally speaking, culturally, we don't have the same affinity or interest in firearms as our American cousins. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave up to you. So let me know in the comments your thoughts on the UK's approach to gun laws. I'd love to hear it. Does it shock you? Does it concern you? Let me know. Thanks.
I am kind of I'm kind of shocked a little bit by it. I honestly thought they would just ban it in the whole country until I started talking with Johan about it. Interesting though, very very interesting. There's a lot to digest in there. Obviously the length of the pistol, so that you can't conceal it well. 22 seems to be you know the cap for some stuff. You could fuck somebody up with a 22. You really could. You kill somebody with 22, especially if it's an Uzi. Holy shit. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see it. I mean, again, it's not like a right, but it is something that you can be obtained through the right channels and the right procedures and all that. So at least there's the opportunity if you wanted to. If you want to go out hunting, that's cool. If you just want to go out and fire, there's something to be said. If firing range, it's fun to go fire a couple guns. As long as you're safe about it. I enjoy doing it. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Over here, people are all about their guns. They're all over it. Like it's crazy. It's half and half. You know what I mean? Nowadays, the country's split on everything, so you better pick a fucking side on every subject. But half the people don't like guns. The other half of people do like guns. I don't know, really, honestly. It's just I just wish that we could get a hold on mental health over here, and the guns wouldn't be such a big issue. Mental health is really screwing us so bad. Everybody, I'm sure. I'm sure it's everywhere, right? Listen, nobody's perfect, and no matter what you feel, you have the right to that opinion. I'm not going to debate anybody about guns. Guns aren't important enough to me to want to debate anybody. I'm glad to see that they're available if you want to get one in the UK. It's kind of cool. I want to thank my buddy Johan for sending this over and for chatting with me about this in email. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them below. If I see them, I'll try to answer them. Not looking to fight with anybody, that's for sure, but happy to answer any questions you may have. I'll catch you guys soon. All right, be good. Scroll up.